Ta-da!
Yeah, welcome back to another Tuesday night.
Another Tuesday night. No live beekeeping, chat.
Look like you got a little setup there behind you, looking good.
Did a little bit of, I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm trying to keep up with Lee. Lee's got too many beautiful things going on in his place there.
You don't want me to turn the big light on. You wouldn't be saying that.
Well, you know what? This has become the Swarm Lure headquarters, right? So you can see behind me, and I got the Apis Biologics up on the top shelf, right? And, I was joking with Lee before the show. I was like, hey, when someone calls in, I'll be like, hey, I need to go down to shipping and check things out. And then I'll, there's my shipping department right next to it. So it's like, yep, they're doing fine. It should be out in the morning, just... Yeah, that's it, man. Just do me. Actually, if you like this shelf, this is nothing in it for me, but Hobby Lobby has this shelf on 50% off, and it's metal. It's like a square metal, and it's got wood shelving, and it's like 50 on sale. It was $56 or something like that.
I might have to go check that out. We got a Hobby Lobby about 10 minutes away from me.
So I was in there I was nearby when I was getting my mother's glasses fixed today. So I stopped in there and I was like, I gotta have that. That would look good behind me. As long as I'm worried that I'm gonna turn and like knock everything down. I'll have, a bunch of bottles of Swarm Lure.
We wouldn't laugh too hard.
I got a Spanky's hive over here, my resource hive. And then I've got these two from Brian, right? The top bar and the regular Langstroth. So, yeah. And then I just got a plane that was sitting on my desk, a honey plane. So I just put it on the shelf beside it. So it's pretty cool. Things are looking better. I got some good news. I got another person that's going to be carrying my product to Hive Life. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but they may or may not have been on our stream before. That's all I'm saying. They may or probably have. They've been on the stream before. But, and then we talked about something interesting. We might have a special edition Swarm Lure coming out with a little bit of extra special sauce in it. We talked about that. So that's something that might be happening. Just like a limited one-run batch. And because it's a limited supply. It's not a scalable business model because it actually has queen in it, right? Real queen, real queen bee in it. So and it'll have propolis in it as well. So it will be an extra little special joy juice.
Extra little boost to it.
That's it. A little bit more, a little bit mo. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, things are looking up. Hey, Brooklyn's good to see you. I know you're on the night shift there in the UK. We appreciate you stopping in. And other than that, man, it's been cold and rainy. Not a lot happening with the bees right now. You know,
They all hiding in the hive right now.
look at Grayson already. Are we giving anything away tonight? We're giving you away tonight. Put hashtag Grayson if you would like us to give Grayson away tonight.
Tell you what.
You have to go pick him up though. No shipping on that. Hey, Dennis. Uh-oh. Lee went to the magic shelf. What's he giving away? Oh, I know what that is.
We hadn't given anything away in a while.
Look, Grace is like hashtag no. What do you mean we haven't given anything? You haven't given anything away in a while. I seem to remember shipping stuff all over the place.
Yeah, true.
So
might have to do a hive tool tonight. Let me write that down so I remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys missed out by not going and taking advantage of that Stream 10 yesterday on the website because I had it messed up and it gave free shipping out.
Did you hit the mead after the live?
Did I hit the mead after the live? No. I was setting that up, and it was on two different codes that I had set up. I had a veterans code set up in there, and then I had this Stream 10. But the Stream 10 code was taking the shipping off. So one guy got $16.99 off or $19.99 off of shipping. I mean, it was like he got a free bottle of Swarm. Well, no, it was like came out to exactly what the Swarm Lure was. So he got a free bottle of Swarm Lure on accident. That was not the plan, but it just happened that way. And, you know, good for them. I fixed it now, though. So it should be good to go as far as that. And I'm just excited to, you know, see the product starting to take off, starting to grow. You guys are helping it out. You know, the little flower starting to blossom, and it's going to be interesting. And like I told you, my assembly line that wasn't supposed to be here in December got upgraded. It'll be here this week, so it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, how that works out. Let me see. And Tim messaged me. He's going to be getting some pollen patties at the show to have on hand for after the show. Let me see. I'm trying to read. You know, I'm not too educated all the time.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up on some background stuff here. Hey, Dave.
I just wish that I would have had the labels earlier. So, you know, but things are picking up and just going to try to do what we can do, man. That's it. Just to make things better, you know, and everybody I talk to about the Swarm Lure is super stoked because they can actually make a profit. And guys, you don't know how, when I say make a profit, I mean, it's not all about the money. However, if stores, especially beekeeping stores, it's such a niche, right? It's like people just don't go. I mean, I do, but most people, if they're driving by and see a beekeeping store, they're not going to stop and just window shop and buy something because they're not beekeepers, right? So if you don't support your beekeeping stores and order from them, and they can make a little bit of profit when they sell, they're not going to be able to stay open. I mean, it's just the, you know, simple economics, right? I mean, look at all the other stores you see in your own neighborhoods and stuff that open up that don't make it. And they carry lots of different things, right? Beekeeping supply stores carry beekeeping stuff. That's it. So they've got to make some profit to stay in business. And I don't know if there's the volume. If everything, oh yes, it is about the dollars.
Without the dollars, you can't keep going, really.
Yeah, I mean that's it. So
It helps.
I like to go to a local store. I really do. Thanks, Ed. I do like to go and shop local, right? It's just that you can't. It's anything, guys. Any business you're in, even the ones you work for, right? They have to make a profit to be able to pay you. So it is. It's all a big cycle. But
Oh no, I did get a couple of naps at work today, but they were still making money.
well, I know, right? Well, I mean, the thing is that so to give you an example, like a lot of people have asked why I don't have boxes and stuff on my website yet, right? And it's real easy because when I order those, they're going to make me order by a pallet. Then that pallet has to be shipped to me and I have to store it. Well, guess who gets to pay shipping on that pallet? I do. So if I only had let's say a 30% margin to start with, and then I got to pay shipping on it. Now I'm at like a maybe 10, 15% margin, right? So the alternative is either charge you more, right? Charge you more, the consumer, which is what we don't want to do, at least not what I want to do. I want the consumer to pay a good price and the reseller to make a little bit of money. And then I make the least money type of thing, right? Because I have the least overhead of everybody. So cheaper shipping. Well, unfortunately, the postal service does that, does that to us. But
At Pirate Shipping, it helps out a little bit. You do get a small discount, but it ain't very much.
well, you get a small discount, and then this time of year, you get charged a surcharge for holiday rate. It's like a bump up for the holiday. So it's it's just something, every year it gets so busy around the holidays that that it just happens. They have to boost the price up, unfortunately. Cool. I got your hive right there, Brian, and right there. Two of them.
Yeah, let's see. I got one right back there.
What amazes me is I see how far that shelf is behind you, which means you have a camera wired up all the way close back there to be able to see it.
Camera's in front of me.
Oh, with your big telephoto lens?
I got my small telephoto lens. You don't want the big one.
Well, see, that means
big toy there.
Andy, that means that's your thing now. You could be that beekeeping supply guy right there where you're at. And then you would probably at least, hey Bruce, you would at least get the traffic, that's if it's 2 hours to go to them, probably 1 hour each way in circumference, you'd probably get them. So that's good. So what are you, Lee, have you put any feed on the colonies for winter yet? Is that something you're working on?
I hadn't put any on because I still had the supers on there and I didn't want them mixing any open feed with the honey that was in there. But I believe the honey that's left, I'm probably just going to leave it on for the winter, pull it off early spring if there's any left. The hives that I had 3 and 4 supers on, I'll just kind of split those up on some of the smaller hives that didn't have enough on it. I'll put them with a full super of honey on.
Hey, Andy, just think. If you had your own store, beekeeping supply store there in the UK, you could just be a stay-at-home dad with the kids. You could just watch the kids right there in the store. Hey, a lot of people here in the States do that on small businesses. Their kids will be right there in the office with them. So it's
I know
pretty good.
I know when we were kids, my uncle used to own a donut shop, and me and my cousin would wake up 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. We'd ride to the donut shop with him and take our little nap on the back floor while he's cooking everything.
When I owned a bread distributorship, my nephews rode with me on the weekends and helped me stack trays and stuff like that. Push stacks, and I kicked them back a little bit, a little something. Maybe bought them a video game if they wanted a video game or something.
Ed said, "Put them to work."
DC said you could pay them less when they're little.
Some of them would rather $5 $1 bills than a $10 bill.
Look, Andy said, I'll hand in my notice to my boss in the morning.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream. You just never know, man. You never know what life's gonna, present to you, and you just don't. It's surprising. 2 months ago, I wouldn't have thought about having a swarm lure. Now I've got my own brand of swarm lure, and people are starting to carry it. So it's interesting. I mean, you just got to put your mind to it and make it happen, right? I was talking to a buddy the other day, and it's everything. It's not just this. I mean, with the bees, right? It's just everything. If you wait till you have either enough time or enough money, you'll never have that.
Mm-mm.
I hear people say it all the time. They say, well, we'll have kids when we have enough money for it. And then I'm thinking, when I was having kids, I don't think I would have ever had the money for it. You make your money work to your situation a lot of times. Now, a lot of people, if you're a doctor or something, obviously, but the common regular person that's not wealthy, right? They're just the normal working guy. You never have enough money for the situation, right? So if you want to sell queens, well, then you got to figure out the money. Unless you're raising them like I did, I had to figure out where I was getting the money to buy the queens to resell them, and it's just a whole thing. It's not the longer you wait, it just keeps dragging out. If you say, well, I'll do it next year, well, the only thing different between next year and this year is going to be it's a year later.
Yeah, and then you'll end up saying, well, maybe the following year I'll do it.
Yep.
Sometimes you just got to jump in. You may fail the first time, but you got to try again. I mean, sooner or later, hopefully you succeed. If not, you learn lessons what not to do next time.
Yeah, see, Ed just hit it right on the head right there. It'll be coming up in a second because I got it on the channel on the side over there. He said that if he don't do something when he conceives it, he won't do it. And I'm that way a lot as well. So, planning is one thing, and I understand that. But even when I'm planning, let's say, like right now, when I started with the swarm lure, I was like, I can wait till next year. I said, but the next thing coming up is hive life. And right after hive life, spring starts around here. So if you're going to do swarm lure, and right now I'm at the luxury of being able to order labels and wait. And then next week order boxes and wait for them to come in and kind of stagger them in, right? I don't have the volume of orders where I'm just slammed all the time. So preparing and doing things step by step, yeah, I agree with that. I'm just not one to plan far out and then save, and then bam, make it happen. I kind of do things in layers, right? Step them in. And that's the same thing I did with the bees, right? So did my splits, started expanding, sold some nukes. Oh, wait a minute, nobody's got queens around here. Then we started with the queens and then went into, oh, well, now I've got queen boxes, right, to start doing it. So next year, I'll already have everything to do what I need to do to make it more effective.
Talking about, I mean, just saying you're going to do it later, do it later. The best thing I'd ever heard, my ex-wife, her favorite word was procrastination. Well, I just happened to get a fortune cookie one day, opened it up, and it said procrastination is the thief of time. And
That's true.
that's true.
Well, to give you an example, I've been telling you guys have heard me on this channel talk about, I think I'm going to go out in OA tomorrow. I still haven't OA'd. You know, I have done already Apivar, and I have hit them with a few OAs, you know, as we gone along. But I haven't done my like winter stuff, right? So it's like it's just one of those things that I'm procrastinating, right? I don't feel like dragging it out and dragging the cord out and plugging in. Now, maybe if I had one of them high-tech $500 jobbies that Larabi sells, possibly I would have already done it. Yeah, just cold. That's it. That's my bees too. Yep. They're just not out, you know, right now. But it's been rainy too. It's been overcast and cold. So, like, let me see what the weather's going to be like tonight.
I think we're going to get down to 41 tonight.
It's 49 right now here. Where am I? This thing. It's 49 in light rain. Tomorrow it's getting to 39. Thursday to 33. So we got it just kind of flipped real quick, like it does here, where the lows are in the high 30s. And it's been just cloudy and nasty. So it really hadn't been much actual legit beekeeping happening. It's just bees in the box time, right? Bugs in the box. 10 degrees colder than you guys. Yeah, it's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, yesterday morning we was about 37 here. This morning we was 52. So that's a 20-degree difference just between 2 mornings, and we'll be back to 41 in the morning.
And so we're trying to make strides and do what we can off the scene, you know what I mean? And it's raining there too, Charlie said. Donnie Feichner says that it's 22 and snowing there.
Too cold for me. I'm glad I got a heater in my crane.
Got a heater in your crane?
Yep. I reclined the seat back, kind of maybe check my eyelids for leaks, make sure nothing's wrong with them.
I did that, you know, from the time we got off the phone till 30 minutes before the live stream. That's what I was doing. And then I jumped in the shower to wake up and put on my best t-shirt that I got that was on my bed and came to it. Let's see, it warmed up today and the last long enough to rain, but now it's cooling off again. 12 minutes. Oh, you know what? South Carolina actually is giving money back to people right now. So if you're in South Carolina, which I know some of you are, and you filed state tax, which I know most of you did, if line 10 of your last year's, your 2022 or your 2021 return is greater than 0, you're going to get money back. So up to $800, you'll get dollar for dollar back. So if it says $7.99, you're going to get $7.99. Anything over $800, you're getting $800. They're capping it off that they're sending out, and they've already started sending out. Now, me, I was not that lucky guy to have any money come back last year. So, but a lot of people are getting it in there. 36 and 27 in snow. Mm-hmm. Where are you at again, James? Michigan?
Michigan.
I know. I'm just because
I think it's Michigan
because of his entrance. I think his caps lock is stuck for like the last 2 or 3 shows. It's been in all caps, everything he's typed.
Either that or they just always holler up there.
And it stands out though. We're able to see it like right away. I'm like, boom. Hashtag 20. Brian, they want you to have 20 colonies.
24.
24. It's bumping up. It is bumping up. Let me see. We've been on 28 minutes. You want to open it up already?
I already got it. Got ready to drop.
Yep, drop it. Drop it like it's hot.
You'll have to pin it.
Yes, sir. Got it pinned right there. I learned something very interesting about the dirt rooster, and I would have never in a million years, not as I'm, we have this in common because I am a hip hop fan, and I don't like broadcast it a lot that I'm a hip hop fan. But Dirt Rooster sent me a video. He says, "Hey man, I'm gonna send you a video of my favorite song," and he texted it to me. And I don't want a copyright strike.
Another one.
But where is he? He's not far down on my list because he kind of drops me texts every now and again.
Yeah, I was just talking to him a while ago. He was editing some videos. He sent me a picture of my bottle of honey. Said he had to open up some editing juice.
Where is it? Hold on. He had Cypress Hill.
I remember them.
Rock. You don't remember Cypress Hill?
Yeah, I remember.
So he sent me. I said, I never took you for a hip hop fan. And then he sent me a video of him riding down the road listening to Big Papa in his truck, from Biggie Smalls. I was like, oh, I can get down with that. So it is pretty funny.
Brian said Randy sends him the crazy reels.
Crazy reels. Yeah, well, if he's sending this all text, man, what is he actually doing anything all day long?
Going through the drive-through.
Going through drive-throughs, that's about right. Who knows? Maybe he'll decide to pop on tonight.
DC said Cypress Hill's hip hop. I kind of took it as a hip hop rock.
Yeah, it's like rock hip hop. But then, Biggie, when he was playing Biggie, then I knew it was on, right? So, hey, I've got a dilemma. I got a big dilemma. So, you know how I've been procrastinating it. Here we are we've come full circle back to procrastination and how it'll screw you. So, remember I was trying to get Swarm Commander to the show, right? Swarm Commander said yes, but then they didn't fill out, I guess, the paperwork or whatever to go to Hive Life Conference. And Ricky had offered me to come in his booth with you guys when I told him I didn't have a ticket, right? And I didn't take him up on it because I didn't want to take that. And then all of a sudden Swarm Commander say, boom, you can go, or we're going, right? You know what I mean? Because I'd already committed one way and it wouldn't have been fair. At any rate, I'm watching Cayman's live stream the other night, and tickets are shut off, right? So you can't buy them anymore. So now, guess who's not going to Hive Life? Unless there's only one way around it that I can figure, is if one of these vendors either has an extra ticket that like someone's not going to go and I can buy that from them, or, well, that's about the only way. One of the vendors would have to say, hey, I need another ticket for the guy to be in the booth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then buy it that way. And that's about it. Otherwise, Renee's going to be shopping. And and it'll be Lee and Lee. The two Lees.
I'll have to talk to her on that, see what she got planned. Because, like I said, Ricky's got a ticket for me already, but I've got another one here too.
I kind of got hung up in the middle. Next year, if everything goes good with the Swarm Lure, I'll be there with the Swarm Lure. I'll have my own booth. So we'll see. And right now, all signs show good,
Trying to catch up on comments.
We have a link in there. People can come join us. Otherwise, y'all are just listening to me and Lee talk.
You're listening to Bob talk.
That's true, too. But you and I can talk and not be on a live stream. We do it all the time.
Yeah, we got 42 in here. One of them ought to want to come in. I would hope.
Well, Mike will wait till 20 minutes before we get off and then want to talk for 45.
Oh, we got Brian in here too now.
And then Charlie's in the chat. I've seen him. DC needs to get his camera fixed or something so he can join in sometime. Lisa, come on, Lisa. And you know what? How's Sarah doing? Has anyone heard from Sarah's Happy Highs?
I hadn't heard nothing from her lately.
And Tim's going to be in the Apis booth. And you're in a hodl again. So the thing was that I had committed to doing Swarm Commander, right? Before I was even affiliated with Apis. So there was no link there, no way to do that. I might have to call. Lisa's cracking nuts. That just sounds wrong.
I was sitting here with the pistachios a while ago.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Let me see. Trying to catch up as well. So it's man, I'm not even watching on the channel now. Flipped over to email because generally, so like when you guys try to, like when we get orders on the website, like usually it's during a show, right? Somebody will see something, want to go buy it or whatever. When we give a discount code, then usually it gets, I try to get them packed up, if, you know, and get them out right away. So I'm having to do Mike somewhere. Oh, hold on. I don't have my sunglasses. Oh, you got a hat on.
He's got shade on.
I do, and I've got something for Lee here. And just move the camera a little bit. It's cold enough. We got the fireplace going.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
I hadn't put a fire in my fireplace in a couple years now. Don't
Yeah,
quite get cold enough. But every now and then you got to build one, even if it ain't cold, just to get that wood smell.
Isn't that the truth? That's half the reason to be around the boiler at the wood mill. So,
well, let's check if the guys in the shipping department are warm. You guys okay over there? Oh,
we're
yeah.
doing fine. Bob, leave us alone, Bob. Don't beat us anymore.
Well, look, hold on. I've got the shipping department over there. The laser department's right there. And the office is right here. So
That's very convenient, though.
I will give you another 5 days before you knock that shelf down.
No, well, you know, I never knocked the photo off the wall or the picture off the wall, and I can move the desk out a little bit more.
I was about to say, but how far does that photo stand off the wall versus the shelf?
3-4 inches.
It's a hand, almost my full hand, about that far.
Yeah.
The wall. Don't jinx me. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Grammy said, make sure you don't overdose with the Apis.
Promotes robbing bad. All bees in my area came through. Tell Bruce to keep his bees in his own yard.
I wonder if that's it, or if just they found her hive or whatever.
And
Or does it Facebook like all the beekeeping companies? So how are you guys doing down there?
somewhere in Guam.
We're warmer than you, I bet.
Yeah, I think by the time church starts on Sunday, I think we're going to be at 4 degrees.
Ooh.
So, is what it is. Charlie, it's raining there.
Popcorn?
Potato chips.
Potato chips. Oh, we're getting a full house now.
There we go.
You hit it the same time I did.
Yes, absolutely, exactly. I'm gonna let you do that from now on. Hey, Ed.
Hey, how y'all doing?
There must be something with beekeepers and hair loss, because look at mine.
I don't have that problem yet.
Well, you're still a young buck.
yet.
You're still.
I gotta tell you guys a
I just
quick
kept
little,
mine because of.
Just keep it down.
Hey,
Hey,
how you
Charlie,
doing?
you know something? You never see too many bald men in a soup line.
It's true. That's true. Of course, it's cold. They're cold down there in Alabama. Of course, this is cold for us down here. This is about as cold as it gets at night. 39, 38. That's like freezing. I mean, if it gets under room temperature, I throw on a hoodie, you know.
I just got this on because I went outside a while ago to take the trash out.
You know, I do need to put it on Facebook. The problem is it's hard to, yes, the word is target beekeepers at a scale that's not going to run you ridiculous on the money, right? And I would rather, I mean, obviously on my website, you guys can buy it at a discount, but I'd rather sell it to, as far as that regular, let them sell it, right? That way it's they're doing the shipping, they're doing all that. I only have to ship to one place. They got to ship to 50 or something like that. But I don't mind, like, for our viewers, go to the website, order it, buy it cheaper than you're gonna be able to buy it anywhere else, and you know, just take advantage of it. And I'll ship it to you guys all day long. I don't mind doing that. But yes, I do need to do some advertising eventually. Maybe, you know, like I said, I've sold 12 or 13 boxes to go to Hive Life of 12 apiece. So
Maybe you ought to talk to Jason at Bohemia Bees. He's got a table set up.
yeah, that's where the second boxes are going. That's where the second order is going.
He might have a ticket.
Just
No,
don't
don't. We talked about that too. So
Ooh.
yeah, I'm.
He might need an extra salesperson.
I am out. You know, he said
Yeah, what's better than the creator?
right. That's true. It's advertise it on different beekeeping groups on Facebook. Yeah, that's an idea. If some beekeeping groups won't allow you to post stuff for sale, they get kind of sideways on it. Some do, some don't. But yeah, it would be
You would need somebody with Photoshop to make you a little banner up and all.
I got a guy with Photoshop that's I'm gonna send him some pictures here directly, some close-up shots with my Nikon, and let him try to do something with it.
I got 2 Nikons right here.
Because it may end up on Amazon. So we'll see. Look at that's like just insane to me.
I like toys.
It's master control. Charlie's asleep 3 minutes into coming on the stream there.
Nah.
Grace, that's what I use, Photoshop from Adobe.
Thumbnails, good job. I don't have Adobe because Adobe is expensive when you got to pay for it yourself. Rightly.
Well, you can get the whole suite of all their apps for like $50 a month.
A month.
That's everything. I can use everything though.
Now, if I used it like it was an everyday thing where I was using it to produce something, yeah, okay, it makes sense. But at the level that I create stuff like that, it's better to send it to my buddy who pays $50 a month.
I have to send you an invoice.
Hey, it's all good.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
I'll pay in Swarm Lure.
There you go.
Is there a free plan to a Photoshop?
I know they got like a 30-day trial, I believe, but they do have, I think, like a Photoshop Lite, but I don't know what that runs.
But see, a lot of that stuff I can actually do in PowerPoint.
Mm.
As far as like a thumbnail, I can put a picture in there and layer stuff on top of it and move it around.
As
And
far as going in and like editing your fine details around corners, I got another little touchpad with a pen that I can actually draw on and do different stuff.
I'll tell you what, old Grayson's channel's kind of blown up. He had what, 20 subs when I talked about him on the stream?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was 24 he started with, and I believe he's up to like 169 now.
Yeah, it was something like that.
But he's made the rounds already. He's been on Stream Team. He's been on Hillbilly Hives Live. He's had all of us on his stream.
He's up to 167.
Oh, goodness me.
167. You're catching up with Lee.
Yeah. It don't take much to do that, though.
Yeah, I'm still down at 34, I think, right now myself.
Hey, everybody that's watching, we got 32 people watching. Go to Son of 1-1, just like it says. Drop his link in here. And
What? See this one finger right here? I'm press that, and there's Son of One channel there.
Yeah, go subscribe to him real quick, and we'll boost him up. Leo, I'm sure Lee's already got it up, counting to ching, ching, ching. But the whole thing is, it's funny. For when we've talked about this several times with the subscriber counts, right? So even when you get the subscriber count up, everybody's goal is 1,000 because that's what YouTube tells us you have to have, right? 1,000 to get monetized. But then when you get monetized, it's kind of like the letdown, right? Like you go to open that Christmas present that you're really excited about. It's like the Chinese knockoff version of that game or toy you were looking for, and it's like just not that exciting. The amount of the little tiny tidbits of benefit that you get with that, which is hardly nothing. It doesn't really do much as far as money. I literally went a year and a half with no payouts, and that was putting up content and stuff like that. So it's like, it's not, unless, people like Dirt Rooster and those guys have been doing it a long time and they've got their subs at 100,000. It came in when they drop a video, they get more views right out of the gate, which kind of gives them that steam for the algorithm, right? If you're getting thousands of views, then all of a sudden it's like it gets pushed out a little bit more, and it just, it's a better thing. It's getting to that. Getting to that point is where it kind of slow. Thanks, guys. Thank you for that.
Ed, we got you up to 42 right now.
Is that like almost a 10% gain?
Almost. That's quick.
It's slow going, man, getting up there. Charlie, wake up.
I'm awake.
I don't hear no popcorn crunching tonight.
He's eating potato chips tonight.
Potato chips. So what have you guys been doing in the beehives down there? Anything?
Watching it rain on them.
Raining, cool weather. I ain't gonna say cold. I'll say cool down here.
I'll say cold. It's cold for us.
Saturday here was 72 degrees. Then it dropped to 48 to 50 on Sunday. I went ahead and made some videos. One of them I just put out and about oxalic acid vapor. And then I vaporized the hives with it, made another video, which will come out this coming week. And now it's supposed to be, maybe the highs will be in the 40s throughout the rest of the week. So
that's highs in the 40s, you said?
Yeah, mid 40s.
Our lows are in the high 30s at night right now this week.
Well, this is during the daytime. It might hit 45, maybe 48 on a couple of the days. And then after that, I don't know, that's an extended forecast. So I'm waiting for the next, hopefully weekend. It's got a 48-degree day, and I'll hit them again with oxalic acid. I like to get out
Won't see above 43 for 2 weeks. This weekend we have a low of 18. That's why everybody retires in the South.
I think
more.
I'm kind of close. And when it comes to the weather, we're pretty close to Bryan. Now, Bryan's closer to the Great Lakes, I believe.
Yeah,
He's close to that snow belt up there.
And the lake effect off of Lake Erie, probably.
Yeah, I don't think I could live up there to have that cold of air blowing down on me.
Yeah, because I mean they're talking 6 to 8 feet of snow.
Well,
around those lakes.
Lee would look like the kid on the Christmas Story had so many clothes on he couldn't move.
I looked almost like that yesterday morning. I had my FRC coveralls on going to work with all my other clothes under it.
I usually just wear that one piece like golf pullover to work right now. It's not cold enough to really, button up too much for work here. Of course, I ride around in a truck all day, so it's not bad. So not terrible. Mike, you got your bees are all tucked in for winter then, right?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how the heck I can share a screen here, because I was going to blow up
a thing on the bottom that says present.
Yeah, it
says share screen. Let's see.
Once you drop it in, then I can bring it up when you're ready.
Okay, and I'm going to open up the back door view here. The hive's packed in the back. I don't know if you guys can see it's a black and white infrared.
That's not coming up yet.
Lee will have to add it in the stream when it pops into the.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you can see there's some snow coming down, but
I can't see the photo in the back.
Yeah, you don't have nothing in the bottom yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you go to present, shared screen, and then tell it what screen you wanted to share?
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Blue iris.
Then hit the share button.
Okay, and then share.
There you
go. Let me blow that up here real quick. So that's the back of the cabin there. Can you guys see that?
That's live right now?
Yeah, it's live. Oddly enough, it literally just, you can see some snow coming now.
Yeah, I was about to say, I see snow coming down now.
Mouser footprints you got going on through the yard? Or
no, those are from the cats -1. We lost one last Tuesday. No, that's just some walkways. We go out for walks together. But gentlemen, those big boxes there, those are my shrunk wrap 4-pack hives. So
now, is this the first year you've done that, right?
No, we've done something like that before. But and I won't do it again. I'll do 2-packs, wrapped 2-packs, but not the 4-packs, because I'm trying to eliminate as much bead.
Oh, you hit the wrong button.
I took the picture out, and then he went out too.
I see Spank. Spank is here listening
on his phone. There he is.
Sorry, guys.
So as far as moisture, you're not worried about moisture buildup in the colony with the shrink wrap on it?
No, actually, what we found is that you don't want to have like an upper entrance right at the very top, because then you lose that heat dome up there. And the minute you lose the heat dome, that's when you get condensation on the ceiling. So I do have kind of upper entrances. It's on the second super right at the bottom. So it ends up with a heat dome of about 9 inches. And, and then they're fine. The only problem we ever have with any moisture issues is if it's a weak hive.
You got full entrances for them to come in and out, or is vents?
Yeah. There's no. We've got the small entrance in the bottom. Yeah, and by the way, those doggone things we use the B&B wrap with the Reflectix and then the Saran wrap to hold that all on there. But we actually have 3 layers of the R10 pink board with the Reflectix on it. So we don't even know what the R value of the roof is. just by straight force alone, it's like R30. But when you're reflecting on each layer 60 to 90% of the heat back, you tell me what the what the actual effect is.
Right.
But so it's they're pretty damn heavily insulated. In fact, there's one hive that was in there. I put out a video as being robbed and swarmed at the same time. There's no way in hell that hive should make it through. There's only like half a frame of bees in there, and the reason I put it in there is just so they could share the heat of all the other ones, rather than doing what you should do is either a combine or a like a screen board and stack them up on top of another one. We just want to see how warm that pack is, and we saw it over Troy's. And as long as you control your mites, when you open those things up in the spring, they are jumping out at you.
Well, is the so here's a question for you. How much do you, I know you've broke it down, how much it costs you to actually do that to your colonies per colony? How much did that run you?
Okay.
You don't have to say like overall I spent 10,000 or something like that. I'm just talking about how much would you say per colony it cost you to do that? And then what I'm getting at, is it more economical for people in your area to do like a poly hive that's already insulated compared to?
Well, you could do a poly hive, but there's no way in hell it'd be as insulated as these are. Plus, you're not getting shared heat. Okay, so you got 3 layers of pink board, and the that's 4x4, and you can get a sheet of pink board for, I believe, $45. So that would be 3 of those. So for the 4 hives, it's
$135.
well, yeah, but you're spreading it out.
Divided by 4.
Just from the pink board itself, no, it's closer to roughly about $80. The B&B wrap, I think, is $20 a hive, and then the survival blankets that you put on the inside of everything, those are usually $2 a piece. So it's a one-time affair. So to rack those 4 hives, the one-time cost, the permanent investment cost, is right about $28 to $34 a hive, $35 a hive.
And then I'm just thinking in aspects of like what I've got here. So when I think, well, then what in the spring, when you take all that off, now you have to store all that. And
yeah, you do.
So
you do. And that's actually a huge problem for me. But think about getting a cargo container and building into the hill. But I didn't need to go for 3 layers of the top board. I just thought I'd do that just because I could.
Right.
And I had some extra ones. But you're looking at the hive wrap actually collapses, just fine. It's just like a soft, you can look at the videos. It'll show you what it looks like. But the big problem that you have with storing any of that crap is, we're all going to have shims, right? So I'll leave that out. But just those 4x4 sheets of the pink board. So you have to have a place to stack those things up or put them aside or whatever.
Actually, I'm gambling this year. If my hives don't have a feeder shim on them, they're not getting a feeder shim.
Now, do you have any way of telling the temperature inside of the hives?
Oh, yeah, actually, because it would be the front entrance on the second super is open only big enough for like 1.5 bees to get through, and I can take a laser and shoot right in there.
Okay. I was wondering because I'd put these in my hive year before last just to see the temperature.
I love those things, Lee.
It's a little wireless one that I have right here for the readout, but then it has 3 sensors, and you could just stick it in the hive and read your hive temperature from in your house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one in the hive no more. They're actually in my honey warmer next door in storage. That way I can make sure power is still good over there.
I think Brian at Castle was using those GoV sensors last year.
He could have been. There's one other thing I forgot. All of the woodware equipment all has 3 layers of the thermosol reflective paint on it too. So they're already insulated before they got insulated. And that's neither here nor there. Just a little side there.
Well,
so what's the temperature? How low does it get up there?
Negatives.
If we have a cold week, Charlie, it'll be 30 below. Usually we'll have a couple, even 3 weeks of like 20 below,
Really?
you know, and that's fine.
I've only been that temperature one time, and it was for about 15 minutes. I was doing some computer networking on the side, and I had to do a big Cardinal Health. It's a healthcare facility. They kind of send out all the products to different locations, and they have the regular warehouse. Well, they have a drug cooler and they have a drug freezer. The cooler is at like 30 degrees. The freezer is at negative 25.
Yeah.
It gets so cold up there when you go to write your name in the snow, it comes out ice cubes.
I know negative 45 ain't no fun to play in.
Yeah, Brian said it was the Go-V sensors. They do the temp and humidity.
Thank you.
That's what this does. I mean, it just shows I don't know if you can see with a bright light, but it'll give you the inside temperature where I'm at, humidity, and then all three of my sensors, temp and humidity.
You know, Earl was showing some on his channel that are little round ones, and you actually drill a hole in the box and mount it right to the box. And it just like you walk up and you can actually read from the outside what the temperature is on the inside of the box.
Do those do humidity also?
I think they do. Yep.
Okay. Because that's actually the one I'm interested in. The temperature, for me, that's not that big of a deal. But I'd sure like to know what it is there. I know that weather. Yeah. Okay.
Daisy, my hives, I say 150 to 175 foot from where I'm at now, but I'm on one side of a double wide, so it's going through two walls to get to the side, and then I have a 20 by 40 shed, and the hives are behind that, so it's going through multiple walls.
But see, what Lee doesn't tell you is it goes to his satellite that he's got out in the yard, that's taking it up to the moon and back again.
Yeah. That's all cheap little wireless stuff.
8 bounces off of Starlink and life is good, right?
That's right.
Even with it being in my honey warmer next door, it's going through. I'm on one end of double wide, so you got to go through every wall to the other end, plus across, I don't know, another 30 foot and through two more walls.
Now, where do you put the box at inside the hive?
I just set it between the boxes, like on the top bars. That way you got that little bit of room between one box and the next box. I would either set it there or
how big are they?
I don't know. They pretty thin. Some of the other ones I just stuck in the
So does the bees propolize all over them or what?
They got a little bit on it, but it wasn't near as bad as I thought. I mean, they didn't actually stick it down. You can just tell where they had walked across it and get that little dirt on it.
Be my luck, they would plug up the sensor hole
it
that
wouldn't
actually reads
stuck to anything. Now, one of the other ones, we put it in the inner cover just to see how they done, and it was fine.
Grayson's chat is becoming a infomercial for Grayson. I got a video coming out.
Got the wrong tips that you can hear that is playing. You know, actually, Grayson, I've over the winter, that's what I'm going to be doing. Things that work, things that don't work, things that were a flash in the pan, and so on. So yeah, by all means, put that out. That'd be great.
Well, you know, okay, so that brings up an interesting topic as well. So things that don't work. So things that don't work, that could be very regional. Something
extremely.
Don't work for me could work for Lee, and what works for Lee might not work for Charlie, and what works for
That's like for Charlie and Mike. I mean, they could be using Formic up there and being worked perfect for them. Down here, I wouldn't be able to use it at the end of in the summer or end of the summer.
Yeah, the bug farmer has heaters in his hives.
I've seen a video on that. I want to see that.
I got a big problem with that because he's circulating air through there, right? Don't those heaters have little fans on them?
Yeah, he does. Well, the box does at top, so I don't know how how the flow goes in this box. But yes, he does heat them in the wintertime, and I don't think he's that far north of me. I think he's in Georgia or North Carolina one. I'm not sure exactly where he's at.
See, something like that absolutely wouldn't work here because the problem with that would be that it'd be blowing in that extremely dry Arctic air. And I don't want
What
to.
I'd be worried about for in your area is that if the bees are warm and snuggly in there, they're going to eat.
Well,
Right.
I've kind of heard both sides.
Actually, that's incorrect.
I was about to say,
Okay.
from what I'm hearing, the warmer they are, they're not having to use as much energy to keep the hive warm.
Exactly.
So therefore, they're not eating as much to use
But
that.
won't they break cluster when it's warmer inside the colony, or will they still stay clustered?
No, I have that purple hive right behind that Lyson hive. It's one of those chloroplast hives, and the only ventilation it has was a 3-inch ring I left open at the bottom. There's 4 holes that you can close up, and there's 4. If you see the little bump outs on the top, those are ventilation holes, which I closed all of them up. I don't know.
Why, right?
Oh, what's going on?
He made you big.
Yeah, I know, but why
maybe-
am I flashing? I don't know. It seems like if I'm in Zoom, I don't have all this problem with the background. But anyway,
Shadows, yeah.
it's got that dome top to it, which is insulated, and then you have a propolis trap that goes across the frames. That keeps the bees from actually building comb up in that lid. So there's no upper entrance. There's no upper ventilation. There's only a little bit of ventilation coming through the front and that one open vent in the bottom. And the moisture goes up, kind of hits that dome, and then it goes down the sidewalls. And then because it's kept warmer, because those walls are like, I'm going to say about 1.5 inches thick of the insulation, they are consuming energy to maintain the cluster heat. But if they don't have to maintain that cluster heat, they won't eat as much. If they got insulation, they got the heat, it's maintained by the box more so than the bees, and they won't eat as much. You can go through the winter with one of them for about 30 pounds of food on there, about half. It sounds not logical per se, but that's what I got. One friend of mine's got. That's all he runs is his license, and they don't consume the food.
Daisy had a good question here. As far as keeping the hive warm inside like that, would that affect the small hive beetles since it's warmer temperature inside the hive?
Well, it's also wintertime too, remember?
Yeah, but if it's wintertime, yeah, I guess they would produce the larva. Once the larva come out to go in the ground to try to pupate, then they would die then.
Yeah, they would die.
Unless they have enough trash.
But I mean, I will have to say if I have a weak hive, then you'll see hive beetles. Other than that, I don't see hive beetles. Now, a friend of mine, I always said the carpet underneath the thing would prevent hive beetles. She had 2 hives, and she's only an hour from my house, and she had hive beetle problems. But there was a tree that kept growing, and then it shaded the hive in the summertime, and then she had hive beetle problems. So the carpet really didn't help in that situation, but direct sunlight seems to help the best.
I got to back the truck up for just a second here. The other thing that affects how much resources they eat is how much carbon dioxide you have built up in the hive. If you have a really low carbon dioxide, the bees are a lot more active. So Ian Stepler talked about that last year, but we ran into that on some of the hives on the other side of the lake here.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see any. I mean, in Ian's situation is one thing. They got thousands of hives inside of a building, but with hives outside like this,
no, we had one hive, Charlie, that was completely sealed. In fact, we had to break the ice away from the outside. We were positive the thing was dead.
Right.
We took it away, and like out of frustration, you hit the side of the hive, which you should never do to any hive in the winter. You don't want them to break cluster that way. But after about 15 minutes, then the fresh air was coming in. Then they opened up. So that's how I was talking about, a really sealed
when
hive.
you say there's even the front entrance is completely closed.
Oh, Charlie, you have to go back and take a look at the video for Troy last year. Where's one we had literally taken the hive tool and chiseling away the ice, and once we got it away, then water came pouring out. But that was one of these super insulated packed hives too, and but once the air was exposed, about 15 minutes later, you could hear them moving around in there, and that hive made it through the winter. It's just another thing that affects feed. That's all I was getting at. The volume of carbon dioxide you have inside your hive puts the bees into a bit of a stupor, and when you have a super insulated hive, they're going to eat even less. Is what we've seen. So,
well, obviously you have, I'll say, extreme weather up there where you're at.
Yeah, and I think that also helps you guys. I mean, like Brian was saying, he would, maybe he sees 2 or 3 small hive beetles, and in his colonies, and the snow, I think, definitely helps, right? Because any larva that's trying to pupate in the ground is just gone.
well, the snow is probably one thing. I don't know crap about these things, but I got to tell you that when the ground freezes down 2.5, 3 feet,
Yeah.
yeah. When we go to dig a grave there, Frank, on the other side of the lake, we bring pickaxes with.
Kind of like Alaska.
I thought you would bring a backhoe.
I thought they were crazy when they were up in the New York mountains, and was at one of these Bible college things, and they had us piling up leaves on top of all the water lines. And I said, "Well, how deep do you bury them? Just scratch and bury?" No, they're 4 feet down, but they still goes pretty deep. So I was like, "What? Never heard of that."
Yeah.
In Florida, if you go down about 4 feet, water starts running out of the ground.
Yeah.
4 or 5
Well,
feet.
I drilled a small well in my backyard by hand. I got a little hand auger, and after about 4.5, 5 foot, I started hitting a little bit of water. I mean, it wasn't much, but I got it down
we've
to
got a
about
really
10
high water
foot.
table here too. I mean, I hand pounded the well in for the cabin, and I think it's only down 22 feet. Went through 5 hard pans. Wonderful.
Well, that
water,
was, talking about freezing, that was the problem in Texas last year, where they are not used to, freezing weather. And I think, what do they do? Barely scratch it in the ground, put it down. in the
Yeah.
ground.
Well, they
The
have some
pipe.
other issues too.
Kind of
they
like Comcast does with their cables.
Right. Well, hey, I found a place that
Easy.
that sells the I think we were talking about it the other night, but I found a place where I can buy thymol crystals now. So you never
Is
know.
that for the
what's
bathtub?
coming. Huh?
Is that for the bathtub?
No, thymol crystals. You never know what could be happening in the background. My wheels are turning for sure. It's just a matter of making it make sense.
Yeah, you can buy thymol crystals in bulk without any license. Just for you guys there. Ottertail Lake in Minnesota. Donnie, that was our summer hunt. Love that. Ottertail Lake, man, that's crazy. It's the only lake I've ever been in Minnesota on purpose where there were 24-foot rollers. That's some big waves. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that video Sunday.
Well, he had a new one that came out today, I think. I saw the one the other day. It was a pretty long video.
Yeah, it was the researcher guy.
Yeah, I went through that too.
I had a old timer tell me that if you take he says he's been doing it for years and has like 40 years and hasn't had any small hive beetle issues. And he's in Texas. He takes the ash out of his charcoal grill and bags it and then puts it under his colonies.
You know what he's making there, Bob?
Lye, right?
Lye.
Soda ash.
And that's what he's putting
Caustic soda.
Caustic soda.
Same stuff they make lutefisk out of.
Make what?
Lutefisk. It's salted cod that's been soaked in lye.
Makes a little grease.
I thought he said that's what Ludacris was made out of. I'm like, he might get a
Mix a little
No,
grease in
no.
there, you'll have your own soup.
Yeah, lutefisk, live fish, fisk.
Potash potassium hydroxide. We're getting all
Yeah,
scientific.
you guys talking about the small hive beetles. This little swarm that I caught in October. I've been watching them really good because they're sort of weak. I'm like maybe three frames of bees in it right now, and I've only seen one or two hive beetles in that poly nuke I have them in. I've been worried about that though.
Well, this time of year, it gets warm enough here during not all, it's going to warm back up a little bit, I'm sure. And I'll crack it and I'll smash every beetle I see because they're not able to reproduce because of the cold all the time. So I just knock them back as far as I can right now with everything I can.
Oh,
But-
Larimore.
Hey, you know what I found out about the potash? If you get the pine in there, that sap messes it up. You got to get hardwoods.
Hardwoods.
Well, he's talking about ash, not sawdust, Frank.
No, the ash. You kill it when you do the pine tar.
We're in oak country over here.
You
I
gotta
know,
have
I know that.
hardwood.
I know that wood ash is good for a lot of stuff. It gets rid of smells. I got a trash can full of it. I use it all the time. Sprinkle it around.
You talking about pine and oak? I'm about probably 7 to 8 miles from Walker, Louisiana, and they got a big sign there that says "Pine Tree Capital of the World."
Donnie. They say cod is poor man's lobster and lutefisk is a really poor man's cod.
Donnie, he has spent time in Minnesota. I love it, brother. Yeah, we actually have a Mike. How was the small hive beetle up by? We don't have any at all, Matt. The only time that I ever have small hive beetles is the 2 years that I bought packages of bees
From the
in
south.
the mail last for that year. The winter they're gone.
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering. In looking back on this year, it snowed twice. I wonder if that, we didn't have as many hive beetles this year, and I used peppermint and stuff like that along, as year, well documented, but it just seemed like we didn't have as many beetles all together, and it could have been that it snowed down here a little bit more. Well, it snowed. That was like a thing for us. So, it snows here like once a decade, and it snowed twice within a week here. So,
Has anybody had any trouble this fall with the wax moth?
yeah, well, no, not on my colonies that actually survived. I had a couple colonies that absconded, and then I had to move in, which I was cleaning the other day. So now I might just have to throw that whole hive, all the frames, in the trash can. It's so bad. They bored all the way through it and stuff. It's just like
what I found. As soon as I see a dead out or a abscond or a slime out, anything, I open the top and I turn the hive on its side. That way light can get all the way through it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Store your boxes like that. Absolutely. Sorry.
Now, as far as actual storing, I put them in my storage next door, but I put the paramoth crystals in them.
Mm-hmm.
I've not used paramoth crystals. See, my thing is I don't have any inside storage for all that stuff. So they just get stored outside. If the frames are no good, guess what? Recycle them for next year. Cut the wax and melt it.
Can't you do that thymol crystals outside? Just put a lid on it?
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know if you can just treat with the thymol like that. I mean, thymol's the antimicrobial, right?
You had to put them on a plate, or what do they do?
Oh, that's not thymol. That's the moth
Messed
flame.
up. Yes. And just store your boxes outside.
The paramoth I store,
Paramoth.
stacked on top of each other next door. But I found, do not use a styrofoam plate. Make sure it's a paper plate. It will eat through the styrofoam and fall all the way through your hive.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's like pouring gas on styrofoam cup.
Oh man,
Eat
that
right
must have been
through
a mess. Hey, I got a question for you guys. I have 4 supers here that I'm pretty sure our mosquito control sprayed them with something, and this is kind of pointed at you, Frank. I think they might have used permethrin. I don't know. I haven't been able to confirm that, but either way, those 2 hives were dead. That was it. End of story. And so I was thinking about pulling all the the foundation out, scraping all the wax off, boiling everything, burning the inside of the boxes, and put it back together. How does that affect the permethrin, Frank?
To be honest, you found my secret. I don't know.
Oh, Frank, you know
I'll
so
tell you
much of
what.
that shit.
Every chemical I use on the pest control truck, the like the buckets and stuff, they say to triple rinse them. Now, of course, the buckets are not porous like wood is, so that's a difference. But they say if we triple rinse them, we can use them on other things. So,
Yeah.
Hey Bob, the only thing with the triple rinse, I've gotten grease on my fingers from car working, and they still have grease on them. So I think that's just to make us feel better.
possibly.
That makes sense. So my only solution to the whole thing is to go out and actually just burn the frames and the foundation of wax and everything. Just be done with it.
I know some of the stuff is oil based, so maybe something that's gets rid of whatever it's carried by.
Okay. Well, I got to get a hold of these people anyways. As far as I'm concerned, they owe me 2 hives. So
I wonder if you would be able to take those frames, like pop the foundation or anything out, take the frames and dip them in Clorox water.
see, that's the kind of thought I'm looking for here. Something that would actually oxidize the permethrin to a point and break it down. So I got to do a little research on how to break down permethrin or what causes it to break down. So thank you, Lee.
Yep. Try and thin it out.
Yeah.
Or just wax coat the inside of your box.
What?
Just wax coat and seal the permethrin into the wall of the box.
Oh, that's what you're getting at. Yeah, no, the boxes I'm definitely going to char. That's not that big of a deal, and I've got so many supers here; it's frightening. So that's okay. It's getting the stuff out of the wood frames that I'm concerned about.
Well, how many frames are you talking about? 20?
Well, okay, so that would be somewhere between 40 and 65 deeps, and they're gone.
Yeah, well,
there's no way that I can't even use the wax.
That's like $200 worth of frames.
Daisy saying maybe just wash them down with Dawn.
Well, if you did that, I mean, over
I don't know
time rinsing them, and that stuff doesn't last forever. Like the stuff that we sprayed, they say it starts breaking down after 2 months, and then they have to, we have to reapply. So I wouldn't imagine that it would.
Can you? I guess the bees are all dead and gone. How about?
Oh yeah, they
how about any kind of testing done?
No, and I have actually talked to the guy. He knew he wasn't supposed to spray there. He got the street screwed up. It's basically what it came down to, and which is ironic because we sure as hell did not need to be. This is the second year of frickin' drought here. We did not need to get sprayed this year. It was stupid. But
man, the lake.
I don't know. It's the only thing I know.
They had to get that budget spent. That's why.
Yeah, no, Charlie, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, brother. But the only thing I know that I personally can't use at all under any circumstances is the wax, and I can scrape that out and make a temporary filter or whatever.
The hives, like in your yard, they have a foam or a fogging sprayer or something.
They have a 6-wheel ATVs where they blow the fog out on either side of it. Lee, what do you got there, brother?
Gunline's talking about eucalyptus oil.
Oh yeah, for wax moss.
For the wax moss.
Why wouldn't that work? Yeah, that makes sense. But no, I'll take the wax and I'll scrape it off and sell it to a couple of the woodworkers around here, cabinet makers. So any blacksmith that wants some. don't know if you guys know this or not, but that's how they basically make iron rust proof. Heat it up to a certain temperature and pour beeswax over it. There's some more to it than that, but baking them in the oven. You know,
That's an idea. Coat them with wax and then bake the wax out because the wax absorbs stuff. That's kind of like an oily.
Well, heat also breaks down chemicals too, so the charring would definitely probably burn it out, right?
Right. So how much is Premier Foundation going for nowadays, gentlemen?
I can tell you real quick. Maybe.
Because I know one thing for certain, it's sure the hell cheaper for me to buy, like 60 frames of new foundation rather than have 2 or 3, hives of abscond or die off. So that's where I'm at.
Premier B products. Where's the shop button?
Ooh, Randall. Thank you, brother, for looking that up. Appreciate that. So I could take those frames and actually just hang them out someplace and leave them.
And then they might rot in the 2 years they're exposed, right?
Oh, I've got a place where I can put them into storage. That's not. I can put them over at the wood mill, hang them up in the wood barn. But,
yeah.
Paul's saying 169 a sheet.
Okay, that's a sheet. So that's if I reuse my frames, which I don't think I want to.
Daisy said too much.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's the nature of the beast.
169 a sheet. I'm looking at the website right now. It's saying 209.
That sounds a little bit more like it.
Now 169, that might be bulk though. If you buy in a pallet, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, when Matt and Sarah go to Hive Life, maybe I'll have them pick some stuff up for me down there, and I'll trade a queen to them or so for the trouble. Paint.
If you're buying already assembled frames with foundation in it in a 10-pack, the triple wax is $49.95 for a 10-pack.
So basically, it's
a frame.
Yeah, so basically, it's going to cost me $150 to $175.
And so, Bob, when are you going to invent the wax thing that we can take our recycled bottles and make frames out of them?
Recycle, get a press and.
Yep.
I could do that. I'd be a millionaire. Take all the bottles from the recycling, and just smash them into B foundation. It's all PET plastic, right? So.
Yeah. Randy, the wax is all going to be discarded. It'll go to the cabinet makers.
Just sell poisonous candles.
I've got a couple people picked out. In fact, that shelf you got in back, that I'll cut some candles up there. Would look really neat, Bob.
Hey, you could always burn that out on your deck or your porch, and it'll be a mosquito candle.
Oh, dear Lord, that's the last shit I want to breathe.
I always thought that lost wax would be an art with steel. Like a foundry.
Huh. Okay. Sorry.
But so that's the reason I went to plastic frames this year. Just price. That was the stimulator. I was already using Acorn foundation, right? So everybody's talking high on Premier, which I don't know how different they actually are. But I've never had any problems with the Acorn foundation. And let's see what Acorn foundation's going for. Probably.
And by the way, the people that are watching, yes, the wax is going to be all scraped and discarded. The only people that are going to end up using are some cabinet makers that want to do something rough on some outside stuff. So I'm not using any of it. Not making candles. That was just a joke. Well, except for Bob.
All right. So a box of 90 foundations.
Okay.
From Acorn, just the foundation, is $130.50 divided by 90, $1.45 a sheet. So they're cheaper than Premier.
Yeah, Troy really likes the Acorn, but something, even when I bought the Acorn, I've rewaxed it.
I haven't rewaxed any of mine. Next year I will rewax before I put them in. Even I've got I think 4 cases of Acorn plastic frames out there. And they're plastic frames. Where's the price? We want the price. I don't care about all the background stuff here.
So, for those of you that don't know this, when he gets the frames out after they've been stored away for a couple of years, take the you pull the frames out, and you'll smell them. You won't smell any beeswax. So if you take a hairdryer, just a basic hairdryer, and run it over that wax, it'll freshen the scent up. And yeah, by all means, if you got old frames with old wax on it, do that definitely. Just to get them going. If you want to give them a little bit more, you can put some sugar syrup on it before you put it in there. But sorry about the interruption.
So a case of deep Acorn plastic frames. I don't know how they would do in your winter up there, but they're $2.10 a piece for the black.
For the black?
Yeah, I don't think the color makes a difference if you prefer the white or black.
No.
I like the black for the brood box. It makes
Yeah,
me
I'd say easier to see the eggs. That's what I like.
So
What
I got-
Matt's saying here, I normally buy all my frames and foundation from Better Be already assembled, and I get it with the wax already on it, but I got a 4-quart crock pot, and I roll another layer of wax on myself.
Yeah, DC, that works too. Putting them out in the sun for just a little bit. Lee, I gotta go that route. You know. And by the way, the only reason I'm using wood frames for the deeps now, I do the black foundation, guys, because I'm right there with you. You guys know I can't see a squat, but I like the feel of the wood because when I take the wood frame and I put it down on top of something, it doesn't slide.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, it's just me.
What I like about the plastic frames is they're narrower, so they fit better.
Oh, actually,
They
that
do
you're getting to kind of
better.
a weird area there. Who's that? That Nathan guy, Duck River Honey. He went and got some black foundation frames, and some of them were at different heights.
Mine, I didn't have that happen. Not with mine.
The only thing I
forgot.
didn't like about the plastic frame, I found they want to draw more wax on the top bar of it for me.
I've heard that
Why?
from some
Because
people
there's
too,
wax
yeah.
sprayed on those. They're like unbiased when they spray that wax
Yeah.
from the factory, and it's
Yeah.
on the top bars and everything, and they just start drawing up.
And then, like Mike said, they do slide a lot more. And I don't know if it's just being old school, nostalgic, or whatever, but I just like the old wooden frames.
I like them too, but so do the wax moss.
Yeah.
Now, the only frames that did not have any issues of the one that I just cleaned out were the plastic frames. Even the wood frames with the plastic foundation in them didn't have as much damage as the wood ones. I mean, basically you would think you'd have wood boring beetles or something. I mean, they knocked it out. Had the larvae were actually down in the wood. I mean, it was pretty tough. And one day I'll get to that, Michael, of being able to make my own frames.
Oh yeah, no, they around Coon Lake here, they actually have guys go on these damn little ATVs with sprayers on the side as well as the helicopters. I've got a bog right here, right behind me. You know, we get dive bomb there all the time by those helicopters. But thanks for bringing that up.
Hey Lee, do you have that little production line still queued up in your thing?
Nope, but it won't take me but just a second.
Some of you guys weren't here the other night when I said I bought a production line for my for the swarm lure. So this is going to make my life a lot easier, a lot easier, at least by design. It is made in China, so we don't know at this point what it's going to do. But
You're
You
gonna
know
start
what?
doing Chanel number 5.
yeah, you don't have to pay. You don't have to play the music. Show the video real quick.
Yeah, I just brought it up without music.
So it's a little tabletop conveyor system for filling bottles, right? With thin liquid, not high or not thick. You couldn't use it on honey, but you just set the bottles on. It stops at the laser, fills up, and as long as you got someone on the other end pulling them off and putting the caps on it. Much faster process. So that wasn't supposed to come until December, but they changed the date and it's supposed to be here Saturday. So
You're gonna have to start doing perfumes now.
I know, right? Beekeeper number 5.
Hey, can I back up a second on the permethrin? I was looking something up, and it says that bleach effectively degrades permethrin greater than 94%.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe a couple applications of that, right? Do it once, twice, 3 times should make it low enough to where it wouldn't bother them.
Well, if I took the doggone wood frames and
soak them in bleach water.
Yeah, and then let them hang for a year.
But you also have to probably mix that with like a high percentage of hydrogen peroxide, which takes out another chemical that's with permethrin, and it moves up to about 70% of it.
So I could give it 2 baths then, Ed. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's a shame to throw all that stuff away. Like I said, the only thing I know for certain that I can't keep is the wax. That's got to go. That's just end of story. Back at you, Rodney Middleton.
Well, you could just add some citronella to it and melt it into a bucket and then light it on fire outside and kill your mosquitoes on your porch, flies and everything else.
So was it 6 years ago we were down on my dock here for the 4th of July. We've got a big deal here, and we had all the, like the big spray cans of bug spray. The mosquitoes were so thick there at one point, I just took the can and lit it like a flamethrower and just started killing them around us. That was much more efficient than spraying the crap on us. That was really pretty crazy. And we had this poor Mexican there that was one of the coworkers guys, and he looked at us like, "You guys are loco, Diablo loco." I'm like, "Hey, are you gonna sit here and cuss us out? Or are you gonna kill some mosquitoes with us?" So anyway, sorry. But yeah, for 2 years of drop, no, we didn't have any need. It's ridiculous.
Mike, my saying has always been, the day my ship comes in, I'll probably be at the airport. So I'll miss it altogether. Permethrin.
Prometheus was, he was. Permethrin. Swarm Wrangler arrived, but did not get to the mailbox. Been chilling. So, Bob, how many swarms have you caught with this stuff?
As of right now, 0. You want to know the truth? That's the truth, right? I just produced it. So all of the research on what is in it came off of PubMed, Chem Europe, and the National Health Library site of all of the ingredients that's found in Nasonoff.
And you weren't on the meds when you mixed it, right?
No, not at all. I used, my degrees, and some of you guys know, are all in health science. And I worked, that company that Lee was talking about earlier, Cardinal Health, I worked in their pharmaceutical division. So I worked in the lab making medicines, specifically running a nuclear cyclotron to make Bombard 018 to make fluoride 18 for PET diagnostic imaging. So it's real specialized, but
yeah, radiation bombardment has tendency to be just a little specialized.
Well, I did other things, like we did
sorry, couldn't resist,
what we called leukocyte labeling, right? So when someone had a body infection and they couldn't determine where the infection would be, they would take a blood sample, they would send it to our lab, and I would take their blood sample and centrifuge it down to only the white blood cells were left in saline, and I would irradiate those with radiation, obviously, and then reconstitute it with their blood and send it back to them. They would re-inject that back into the patient, and then the hot white blood cells would go to the site of the infection, right?
Oh, you're doing point tracking by isotope. Very
yeah.
really cool.
So Yeah, that's where my background is, guys. That's where my degrees are in chemistry and all of that. This was pretty simple when it comes to chemistry. The research was done by people much smarter than me as far as the composition. I just replicated what they said was in Nasonoff pheromone. So
now the Swarm Commander, is that less regulation you don't have to worry about?
yeah, I mean, it's not for human use, right? So it's not, and everything that I'm using, I don't know about Swarm Commander, the brand, what they're using. I know what I'm using is all food grade, laboratory grade chemicals bought from laboratory suppliers, right? So it's
Risk free.
matter of fact, our good buddies at Florida Labs provided this one.
So here's a thought for you, Bob. Of all of us that come on the show here, Rodney is caught the most swarms, and I think that's a bit of a freak show. I think he's at 40.
40, yep.
Yeah. So I'd really love to see you send some of that to him and have him test it. And you can do side-by-side boxes because, you know.
I've already got that going. I offered it for $5 a vial when I started, just to cover the ingredients in the bottle. And Ed
they had no label.
A lot, yeah, no label at that point. And
that's right.
Now I did test it outside last week. We're in the fall. It's not swarm time, right? I sprayed it in a dead out colony I had on the top frames and on the entrance. And the next day I posted up a short that showed the bees flying in and out, checking out the box. And they hadn't been on that box in a month. So, and not for nothing, I took it up to Dennis up in the upstate, and I said, spray this. And he sprayed it. It smells identical to Swarm Commander. Identical. So the chemical composition is correct. Swarm Commander works well. This has the same stuff and it's cheaper. So yeah, that was the colony. It had been there for a month with nothing in it. There's no food. It was robbed out, nothing in it. And they were just checking it out on the colony. So,
well, Bob, that's great news. Now, I'd like to see it done out in the field by some hardcore guy like, you know, Rodney or whatever. But if you've done your research, and I know you have, you know, it'd just be well, you know, icing on the cake. Look, the guy actually can lace his shoes.
Yes, I can. I can tie my shoes once in a while when I got my glasses on.
It's same here.
Awake.
I tie my shoes or boots one time. That's the day I buy them.
Checked it out.
We're gonna wake Charlie.
No.
Charlie, should I fire up my popcorn machine here for you? Or?
We'll have to catch him dozing and just give him a little show.
I love it.
So
did have mites and had to be treated with them today.
Remember?
Oh, yeah. Thank you there, Bugs. I was wondering how that was going for you. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, Sawmill and Charlie, you guys ever have the honeybees hanging around your mill? I noticed that.
No.
Around the sawdust and stuff?
Yeah,
they check it out.
They come down to where the sawdust is, and it kind of blows out onto the ground. And
yeah, why do they do that?
Well, there's where we have ours is like a little water ditch, and if it rains like it is now, especially in the summertime, they'll fly down to the sawmill and land on there so they can land without getting drowned, and then they'll suck up the water out of that. Now, that water, the rainwater, washes the tannins out of the wood, which is different types of minerals and stuff, and they like that. They like that dirty water, and it's kind of amazing here where my bees are at this building here behind me. Oh, it's, I don't know, 1,000 feet or so down where behind the mill is. And in summertime, you can, especially in the evening when the sun kind of gets low in the sky, you can stand in the driveway and look towards where the beehives are, and the bees will be flying by your head, you know, and I call them tanker bees. You can watch them all day long if you get in the right sunlight. and they're going back and forth, bringing water back to the hives.
But it's only a small number of them for me.
Yeah, small number, not that many.
But they are bringing
But
it.
it's kind of cool to see them going south to the watering hole, and then here they go back and all day long.
For me, it seems like the nastier the water, the more they like it.
They like it. They like the minerals. That's what the bees
wait
are
a
looking
second.
for.
There's another thing going on here too. They want tree resin for propolis.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to make a hive in my stacks.
Well, it's not going to get the resins out of the sawdust. I don't think more of that would be coming out of the saps of the trees and stuff.
Well, it depends on what you're cutting though, too, right?
Well, yeah, if you're sawing, let's say pine, I'm sure there's some rosin in that sawdust
Oh yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Did you?
Bob,
Mike,
you see that testimony you had a second ago, huh?
Yeah, I was about to. Oh, go ahead. Pop it up again. Did Daisy sprayed on some wood 500 feet from his bees, and they went and checked it out. So
One thing we are going to do is we're going to go up to north central Minnesota, where we're in the deep in the wilds. Nobody lives there. And my vet Dustin, he bear hunts up there. He says, Mike, we see bees up there all the time. Honeybees? He goes, yeah. So we are going to go out into the dead outback, the frozen bog outback of Minnesota. We are going to be putting 6 traps up there. So I'll definitely give it a try. I mean, what the hell? There's no way I'm not going to,
and
try.
here's my disclaimer, okay? And I said this to people that have been wanting to carry it. So you set up your swarm trap. What are you putting in there? Look, without a lure, what are you putting in your swarm trap? You're going to put in an old frame, at least one, right, with old comb in it. Most of the time, that box has propolis in it, and then you're going to hit it with a lure, right?
Well, something Rodney kind of filled me in is he takes the splurge or whatever the heck the leftover melted wax, sub gum, yeah, and he puts that in there too.
Which is basically brood comb, right? It's the melted down cocoons of the brood comb that you're capturing out of there. So
just the crap. I thought it was interesting that he did that. He said he puts it in the back of the hive and puts it in there. Mm-hmm. And after he caught 40 hives, I'm not going to second guess him. But as far as typical, then the other thing that I would do is I would actually definitely put some lemongrass in the back of the hive, and then a drop or two right at the entrance.
Right. So my point being is that if you catch a swarm, whether you're using Swarm Science, Swarm Commander, Swarm Wrangler, whatever you're putting in there, you can't definitively say that it was one of what caused those bees to move in there. Is it the propolis? Is it the old slum gum? Is it the lemongrass? Is it the swarm lure?
The size of the box?
Is it the size of the box? There's lots of things that go into it.
Yeah.
What I will say is this spray will help the bees find that box, whether they stay or not. That's up to the bees, right? That ultimately, and what makes them think it's a good trap. What I will say is what's in this product doesn't have any lemongrass oil in it. It has no essential oils in it at all. So it's all plant-based terpenes and an emulsifying agent and distilled water. So,
well, if I was going to do it, Bob, I'd have to put up identical boxes.
Hey, by all means, because I feel, and Jason said the same thing. Jason's going to carry it, but in the spring when it's swarm time, he's going to do identical boxes, identical setups with identical treatments. I'm not saying it's better than. I'm not sitting here saying it's better than Swarm Commander. What I'm saying is it's as good as Swarm Commander. Because
I sure hope so, Bob. That'd be a wonderful thing. And by the way, sounds like you did some really neat research. This spring will be kind of like the testing grounds for us. So, I'll definitely give it a run here.
And everybody's seen I use Swarm Commander, and it's just one of those. I like Swarm Commander. To be honest with you, have I caught a swarm using Swarm Commander in a swarm trap? No, I haven't. And I haven't caught one with lemongrass that way. I have used Swarm Commander when they're flying and spray it on something when they're right there and put that strong scent out to bring them down to where that is. But I've never caught one in a trap using that. But there's a lot of things with swarm lure, right? The recommendations are every 2 weeks you reapply. How many people go out to the woods and check their swarm traps every 2 weeks? Don't know. My swarm traps are primarily in my yard to catch my own swarms. Most of the swarms that I catch are people calling me saying, hey, I've got swarms of bees in my trees or in my bushes. I already did that. I'm not doing it again.
If it ain't on video, it never happened.
So Spanky's got a really good point there, and he's right. We need to remember the people that that are just brand new at this. Oh, yeah.
There you go. I did it. I even shot some on my mouth. It doesn't taste
good.
It doesn't taste beautiful, but it's not going to kill me. If I want to catch a swarm in my mouth.
Now, will your wife want to kiss you anymore?
Hope not. Matter of fact, I don't want to kiss me. It does taste kind of nasty.
Make them seem as if the bees have been there before. Lots of them I make a propolis covered wood from cutoffs. Yeah, Rodney, you're machine there, brother. Thanks for jumping in there.
But yeah, it's a little tingling on my tongue though, for sure.
Has anyone else used the dead bees in their traps? I never heard of that one.
Yeah, I seen somebody else say that up there.
Yeah, usually you got some of that in slum gum. I've used some of the slum gum myself.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah. Rodney's really up on that. And
Rodney, do you put any other lure in your box, or just use that?
I used on a trap out. I used lemongrass and the slum gum.
On a
trap out? Yeah, I trapped them out, and they had to go through the box in order to get out, and then they couldn't get back in, so they started staying in the box. And I got them. Took months though.
Got to make sure my little bee is showing there. It's a lot of money on that label, as far as getting the lasso right.
Come on.
Did you draw that bee?
Come on.
No, I paid to have that label made. Well, I paid for the artwork. I paid for the barcode. I paid for the labels. And Dennis,
now, do you have to pay for the artwork from then on, like a proprietary thing, or?
No, I paid more and got like the commercial availability part of it, so it's mine.
So Lisa, you can take a dead queen and soak it in alcohol and make a pheromone tincture. I know some people have done that.
Yep, and matter of fact, I'm coming out with possibly a limited run of some that has propolis and actual queen in it.
That's basically QMP, which is queen mandibular pheromone.
Right.
So what are the little queen sticks that you can get? Fred Dunn has talked about those things where you just take them and you put them up on a tree and then they come to a scion or.
Yeah, I've seen those little sticks. They almost look like a zip tie.
Yeah, they do. What are they called? It's got that queen pheromone in it.
Temporary queen pheromone.
Yeah.
It's synthetic, I think.
Well, the funny thing is, if you see a hive that's gone to, like, say, a sapling in your yard, a swarm there, odds are the next swarm is going to come out and go right on there because that queen has left pheromones in there. I've seen that happen several times, and they keep going to that one sapling. It was really, I thought that was a lucky tree at first, right?
Yeah, those things right there.
Okay, there you go.
Hey, Bob, you got to put a dead queen in every bottle, kind of like a tequila worm. That'd be the brand.
Well, see, that's the whole thing about the dead queen method. I'm not saying it don't work. I think it will work, but it's not scalable. If you're a company trying to make a product, I would have to literally breed queens just to kill them, to put them in into that. But if I'm breeding queens, then I don't really need to be catching swarms because I can just sell the queens.
So you breeding poor queens just to kill them? You could start a bee supply company in northern Minnesota.
Just to kill.
That's what they do for the royal jelly. They kill them.
But the best location to put swarm traps out is, from what I gather,
near Bruce's yard.
Near Bruce's yard, near my yard in the fall is a good spot.
I think
I think some of the ones I've caught were Bruce's.
Oh, no kidding. There was some general rule of thumb, like ideally they were like 15, 20 feet up, you know, whatever. But I've seen swarms literally attached to a tree that was like 5 feet off the ground. But I think the swarm traps, I think Dr. Seeley did a big deep dive into that. And I think he came to the conclusion it was like 15, 20 feet up. But you guys jump in on that one.
Yeah, I think it's 15 feet.
All of mine I've caught about 7 or 8 foot off the ground, except for
somebody asked Silly about that, what he wrote in the book. And then he said, I don't do that anymore. It's like you say, 6 or 8 feet off the ground. That's it.
the little cafe my old lady works at. They got a little lean-to on the back, and I just reach up there, stick a 5-frame box on top. You know, I can reach up to the ground, and I've caught 3 of them there in 3 weeks.
No way.
I caught one swarm, brought it home, put it in 10-frame box, brought that same box back to the cafe, put it up. Next week, had another one. 3 weeks in a row, I did that.
Well, you guys have seen the video where Yappy, where that big swarm just moved into his old equipment that he had sitting under his carport.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that's always
on
the
the ground.
that
They moved in on the ground.
Yeah,
I think Ricky had one like that.
yeah. I had that happen.
I think
Had
it's
an
just
empty box
about,
sitting right next to a hive, and by the way, they went in that empty box, and then walked across the pontoon deck and got in the other hive that was right next to it. They repopulated the other hive. Bees will do weird shit.
I'm sorry, you just hit one there.
I had Rodney's up there. There you go. A trap needs to be where a gentle breeze can carry the smell. Mine are 6 to 8 feet.
Oh, you did tell me about. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he wanted a little bit of an airflow there. Forgot about that.
So I was thinking with this queen, if it comes to fruition, the person that's given me the actual queen juice, if you want to call it that, or selling it to me, we haven't come to terms on that yet. But if that comes to fruition, I'm thinking about using like one of those. I said it earlier to you, Lee. What's the label, that the shiny label that's like holographic label on it? I think that'd be a cool little extra touch, but we'll see.
So speaking of shiny, Frank, where'd you get the Bill cream to do your hair?
He's a Dapper Dan man.
Looking very handsome there. You got all combed and whatnot. Your wife was busy.
What was it? I know everybody's seen that movie. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yep.
He was trying to sell him another fop. Was it called fop or something?
Yeah.
And he's like, damn fop, I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Dapper Dan.
Hey, just thinking of that. Oh, brother, where art thou? Okay, you know the song that's in there, the man of constant sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, look up Charm City Devils. Of that song, they done a remake of it.
Really?
And they done really good. It's kind of more of a, I'd say, little heavy metal rock version of it.
You see Rodney's comment? Love the comb over, Frank.
I just found it here, Lee. Thank you very much. By the way, for an extra 300 Cupid points, the movie Brother, Where Art Thou? What is that? What is that based on? Would Homer be proud? Let me put it this way.
Would Homer be proud?
It's based on the Iliad, Homer's Odysseys.
Really?
Yeah, you had remember the John Goodman, he had the one eye poked out, so he was the giant. Then you had the singing sirens down at the river. You know,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is based on the Iliad. It's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
that's right. Wasn't that where he was beating the guy underneath the tree, and he had the eye patch on?
Yes. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. Okay, I got the Charm City Devils up here. I'm gonna have to watch that later on.
And I've been looking into Spanky lit a fire under me the other day about the something to spray on fume boards, right? Like, or for forced abscons, like a Be Gone, Be Quick, something like that. So,
What was he talking about?
oh, the other night he was talking about making something for, like honey robber or something like that.
Bandit.
Yeah.
So might do that for forced abscons. We'll see what happens. It's all about money and time, right? Either I don't have the time or I don't have the money. But now that I have most of the equipment,
all sitting on the ground. Eugene, we hear about that all the doggone time. It's really interesting.
I've had them move into a colony, like they would fly up and then come right in.
Yep.
To an old colony there, right?
I was covered in sawdust. Oh gosh. Okay, Frank.
Yeah, my wife caught me. She says, "You are going to shake that off before you come in here." I said, "What?" And I looked. I was like, "Holy cow!"
I'm in here now.
Oh man, yeah.
So I
usually have them check me for bees because I usually bring them in too.
Oh yeah.
Larimore, Keith, he said the same thing that I told you, that the research has not been done on that method. He recommends using it by the directions. But with that being said, you could be the crash test dummy for that.
What was that method he's talking about there?
So mixing the activator, right, bioactivator into dry pollen sub, mixing it up, and then doing a feed, just as a dry pollen feed.
Can I do my mountain camp that way?
What? Why
mountain
not?
Sugar camp?
Well, with mountain camp, you're just pouring it on, right?
Yeah, but I wanted to put the activator in there.
Activators for pollen sub. I mean, I don't know. It's not recommended. I mean, what's on the label is what's been tested, so you can't really verify the results, But I used it in my sugar bricks. So the water that I use to make my sugar bricks, I'll put my biocontrol in there and mix it up, and that's the water that I'm using to harden my sugar brick with.
I think you got your new mascot for the other that you plan on making. Honey
Robbie.
And Bobby. Yep, that's it. So I thought if this goes good this year, like it's so far developing to do, I might have a booth at Hive Life next year. The products is going to be there this year. It's going to be at least 2 people's booths. So what if they're giving a discount? I don't know what they're going to do as far as their sales. But the thing is, with next year, if it goes good, then maybe I'll have a booth there next year. And I was thinking about having like a stuffed bee, right? And for a giveaway, like people walking by, hey, you catch the bee, get a free bottle, like a giveaway thing, promotion.
Are you going to dress up in the bee outfit?
Hell to the no.
I
did that one year. I was working at Sonic, and I had my daughter. I was a manager at Sonic, and I had my daughter dress up in the hot dog outfit, and she stood out on the curb all day dressed as a hot dog, waving her hand, and for a milkshake. So it was cheap labor.
Cheap labor, yeah.
Cheap child labor.
Mm.
Hey, I would do it, man. If everybody, not for a long time, I would do it for a minute. He may be a little buzzed though. Yet you'd have to bring the mead down. You'd have to have me tankered up. That'd be fun.
That could be arranged.
That'd be.
Pour out that bottle of mead.
Oh, I don't even have my bottle in here right now. This is all work. I told you.
DC said he'd even pay for the B outfit.
I got the office. I got the.
Is that the official Apis mug?
Yeah, I made it.
Jeez.
I made it. So I got the office, the shipping department, and production. My laser over there. So I can check really quick. Hold on.
And how'd you get rid of your echo?
I don't know. I've got all this crap behind me now. That might be it.
We're gonna start donations to collect money for that bee suit for Bob.
The GoFundMe for Bob's bee suit. Just buy lure; it'll pay for itself.
Daisy said he got one for you to use.
Oh, a bee suit? Oh, he probably does. He probably does. He's got a nice operation up there. He's got the self-help and everything else.
Get the pink one.
They're not in here. I don't think. My wife just walked in looking for something. They're not in here. No, I don't have them.
Okay.
So it's more on the location than the height of the hive means. We'll find whether it's on the ground or 50 feet. Yep. Well, mine prefer to go way up in the trees right now here. But now, I mean, we pretty much everybody's got their stuff winterized. We're all waiting for. Oh, there you go. He's alive. We're about to call 911 for you, Charlie, to make sure that you were still had a pulse going over there.
We're still there. I was listening.
He just drooling a little bit.
And damn, now I done lost my train of thought. What I was talking about.
Location of the hive.
Now we've got our hives all buttoned up. It's kind of like now we're starting to think about spring, right? What's going to happen in the spring? What are we going to do in the spring?
Man, I wish, Bob. Honestly, my big push right now is to get all my equipment and whatnot in order.
Be a bee suit.
Yeah, I got about 20 boxes to paint. Supers.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I got do some more oxalic in another, I don't know.
But for you guys, winter or spring is like 6 months away. For me, it's like 3 months away.
And for Lee, it's about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His winter ends tomorrow.
It started yesterday, ends tomorrow.
He's had his 20 minutes of winter. We've got summer and not summer here. That's pretty much our seasons.
What's Home Life 2023?
Hive life, I think is what he meant to spell. No, that's very just put in the winter garden. The winter garden.
Is that a winter rye?
Oh wow, we're past 10 o'clock too, and we're still going. Still got 40 people.
Oh damn! I didn't
I
realize.
was having so much fun. I wasn't even paying attention to the clock.
Yeah, I didn't either because I was actually supposed to take my sleep medicine about 30 minutes ago, so it'd be kicking in.
Well,
That's no lie.
There it goes. Night, night, Lee.
30 more minutes.
Well, I'm gonna bug out.
You already did.
You already took your nap on the stream. I mean, you should be good for another 3-4 hours.
Do another 5 hour, why don't we?
Right?
Oh,
I think we
man.
ended up 5 hours and 38 minutes that night, something like that.
Oh yeah,
That could be.
that was that Saturday night when everybody just kept coming in, so we just kept talking and talking and talking.
Said that was right. Home Life 2023.
Home life, yeah, that's. I have no home life. I go to work and I come home and I work at night here now. So
I got more work to do in here. I got to hang more shelves up.
if everything goes good, maybe this is my kid's inheritance. Who knows?
Now, DC, I'm out of mead right now. I got some more brewing. I'm having to wait now.
He drank it all. It done been got.
Got one little drop in there.
I don't know, Lee. He might. He'll start going through DTs pretty quick here.
I'm gonna have to start making more at a time. That way, I got bulk put back.
You just have Daisy sent. Have you drank Daisies already?
No, actually, I forgot about that. I got that over here.
So right.
He's got some. See, there you go. Alcohol and meds. That's what
I got to
we need.
reach in the freezer, get the cold glass.
I
The
like
cold
that.
shot glass.
Mead and melatonin. I love it.
That's his M&Ms. What do you do before bed? I have M&Ms.
Sleep real good.
You
Here we
eat
go,
M&Ms
Daisy.
before bed? Yeah, mead and melatonin.
Hey, Mike, don't pull a muscle.
Yeah. Actually, I did. This one I can't lift up. but this is her private time right now. We lost her. We lost her grandson to a car accident here a couple days ago, so she can do whatever she wants.
Spanky said he's going to be at home instead of Hive Life this year, so it's home life. Hey, that's where I'm at. I'm at home too, unfortunately, at this point, unless Lee can bribe Renee.
I say might be able to visit Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, that was planned procrastination. Procrastination.
Procrastination.
That's planned procrastination.
One of those big words. So
Yeah, I got to talk to Matt and Sarah, and then the other Minnesota, Russell Koopman. He's due west of the cities here, and see how those guys are going down to the Hive Life. And if they are, I'm going to send them some cash, and if they got room to bring stuff back. What you thinking there, Lee? What happened?
Daisy was asking how the honey or how the mead was. That's the mead that he sent me.
Excellent.
Tell him 2 thumbs up. Yeah, DC, was that happen to be City Stead Meads? They do a bunch of different ones on YouTube.
Daisy asked
Hey, Lee, have you ever done hot mead?
Mm-mm. Hadn't tried it hot.
That might be
That'd be like a
interesting.
bite twice, right?
Coffee mead, Dennis said he had. Yeah, Lee needs to strap a lot. Hey, yeah, just take your GoPro and have it stream live from your phone from the head strap cam, so everybody can be there with you in 3D.
Oh,
He's grabbing his head strap he's got in the background.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
I got a few extra batteries.
Hey, Lee, just out of curiosity, I've never seen a flux capacitor before. Can you show us where that one is?
That's in another room.
That's what's powering all that stuff he's got on there. 1.21 gigawatts.
Pumpkin mead. Whoa, wait a second here. Pumpkin mead?
Lee has cool toys. We know, we can see who's got the money. It's Lee. Look, he's got a
very, 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 very well set up. Yeah. Wow. So we just got some pineapples off the trees here, and we are making. We are making, now that we have snow on the ground, we're actually going to run some pineapple mead, moonshine. So excited about that one.
Lee's electric bill. Ouch.
I got a few solar panels to help out.
But pumpkin and honey, I'll give it a run.
We're a good match there, huh, Bob?
Wow. I love it.
Doc, the ISS from Mission Control. That's it. Galloway has a nice map on his wall.
That's not a map. That's a game that he plays. That's really kind of weird. I don't know.
My wife used to teach online to China, and so it's one of the things. It's like, this is where I live, over here.
Funny.
Well, guys, I'm gonna jump off tonight.
Yeah, thinking about the same thing here.
Thank you.
Subscribe.
Grand to have you. It looked like the wind has died down there a bit.
And thanks to everybody who did subscribe tonight.
Yeah, last time I checked, Ed, you were up to 43 a minute ago.
Yeah, we're looking to see more there, Ed.
Did anybody get a chance? Let's see.
Thank you to anybody that went to order on the store. Appreciate it. And every little bit helps. And hey, in the beginning, we had some nice super stickers. Appreciate that too. Thank you. But what do you say? We're about ready to call it a night, guys?
That sounds good to me.
Oh,
Mike is usually bailing by this time. Oh, he's an hour behind us, though. It's only like 9:13.
pretty much. Pretty
Yeah, it's
much.
9:13 here for me.
That's
And Charlie took his nap, so he's good to go to work now.
Yeah, right. I'm ready to go to bed.
And
something
Mike, if
like
you didn't
that.
see the message, I did get your stuff out. So you're good to go. Got it out yesterday, actually. Carried it to the post. So
I think he's talking about the other Mike.
Michael Tang. I always slaughter his name. Tangway, up in Vermont.
That Minnesota Mike, he was a little confused when you said that.
What happened to the
deeply confused.
Hale says, what happened to the giveaway?
Oh, yep. Yep, hey, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have it pulled up here.
Wait a
That's
second.
on Mike.
Let me pull up another screen.
I will be giving away this spray bottle to the 100th person that puts in something.
So are we all on there or what?
Hey, and if you haven't subscribed to Lee's channel, please go, because when he hits 500 subs, he's giving away a Guardian jacket.
Yep. I was actually going to pay for it and give it away, but Terry at Guardian B, we went fishing 2 weekends ago, and
I haven't watched that yet.
he has given me a discount code for the entire price and shipping of a brand new jacket.
Man, sounds wonderful.
So do we have to put in Hive Tool?
Yep. But the pound sign for the older ones, we know that's a pound, not a hash.
The number sign for us even older.
I don't know if I did that or not. Did I?
I'm glad they reminded me. I'd done forgot.
Oh, it was selective amnesia, sir.
Oh, no, actually not. The mead done kicked in.
It's actually. Oh, Grayson's back again. He's on his other channel.
Grayson Guitars on.
We got 37 people watching right now. There should be 37 people entering. Well, I'm watching too, so you should have 36.
How about, well,
Are you starting to sound like Grayson?
35 because I'm on the other screen here too.
Grayson had more viewers last night with the stream team on than we had tonight, I think.
Yeah, he had 40 some subscribe on, and he wanted like 35 to enter.
Yeah, we made it, I think, to 43 tonight.
It's all good. We know what we got here, guys. The other people just aren't hip yet to come.
DC, I believe I'm at 333 right now.
Hey, Sourwood, I didn't see you in here earlier. Hey, Sun Bunny, I didn't see you in here earlier. At least
It must have been lurking.
While that's still running, I'm pull up that Hive tool so you can see a little bit better.
It's a nice tool.
It's got a magnetic personality.
That's my favorite Hive tool.
It's got a hammer on it, so it hits for hive beetles.
Yep.
Yeah, hive beetle hammer.
We're up to 21. How many can we get?
Well, Tritone said he already won one from Lee.
Yeah.
DC was here for the first Bob and Lee show. All right, we got 23. How many are you trying to get it to before we go?
I'd say at least 25. Can we do that?
25. Can we get two more? Hey, Stafford Mike, good to see you. You know, guys, when we drop the link, everybody is welcome to come in. So you don't feel like you can't just come in.
We
That
can
is.
hold up to 10 people at a time.
Except for Galloway Lights. He can't come in when he jumps on like when we're getting off.
I say Bob will beat you. Don't listen to him.
It's like they wait until we're getting ready to sign off. Then it's like pop in the back room.
They just want a longer stream, so they jump in at the last minute, so we'll keep going.
Rick Morris has done it a few times. And we got our favorites that come on at the end. Like, Mike comes on like usually at the end. But he blessed us tonight with the full show. If I came on, you'd have even less viewers. I don't care about it. Why?
And he wore a hat and saved us the shine, huh?
Dirt Rooster just got home.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he just texted me, just got home.
If he comes on, he'll be doing the Rick Morse thing.
Yeah, we're at 24. Can we hit 25? And then I'll hit that draw button.
Uno mas. I'll enter. Even though if I win, I don't want it. I'm just doing it.
Yeah, I'll do the same here. I don't want it either, but let's put her in here. 5 tool. How's that? Is that right?
Yep.
We got 26 now, Lee.
We're going to hit that draw button now.
Okay. Watch Lee win his own.
Nah, I didn't enter.
Oh, I gotta love it.
Galloway Light.
No way!
You gotta be kidding me.
How about that?
Ah!
I got to find my mouse now. Done got lost on 3 screens.
That's just crazy.
Frank,
It was worth all this.
I'm going to drop my email in here. Just send me an email with your address and everything. I'll get that mail.
Oh, jeez. Gonna make you work tonight.
That's funny. Frank's winning everything.
Well, what was that on Grayson's live last night? They were joking around, said, yeah, watch Hillbilly Earl win. And as soon as they spun it, Earl won.
Are you serious? I missed that.
Well, he also had 2 channels that were entered in, so he had like one more chance than everybody else.
He was the smart one.
He had multiple channels signed in. The Price is Right wheel, one more click and bankrupt. That's that's how it works for me too, man.
Oh man, I love it.
Hey, Lee, the only question I have is how am I going to insulate that hive tool?
Just take some insulation, wrap around it, and then put a piece of duct tape on.
Somebody says rigged. Oh, he's got more. He should do another one.
Heck, we can do one more. I'm good with that.
You can use it. Oh, does everybody have to do it again, or do you still have the same wheel up?
I still got the same one up. I mean,
Yeah, just
Yeah, it's
I
better.
think anybody that entered is the one that entered anyway, so they're not going to be no extras.
And now here's a caveat: if you're on the stream, you can't win it. The next one, too late for this one.
I'm gonna hit that draw button again and see who wins the next one.
So let's actually go to a viewer. Donnie. Arizona election much?
Okay, that's not funny.
Have more winners than actual registered voters.
Hey, Donnie, I'm going to drop that email in the comments again. Just send me your contact information, your name and address. You have your phone number if you want, and I'll save that in my phone and then in my database. Keep track of everybody.
Mm.
And if you haven't ordered your swarm lure, go do it. Do it after the stream right away so I can get it in the mail.
Yep.
Before he raises the price.
I already raised it. It's not $5 anymore.
I just dropped the link for the swarm lure.
It's still cheap. And then you can get 10% off by using Stream 10. So anyway, guys, appreciate you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Tomorrow night, Stream Team. Thursday night, Hillbilly Hives Live. I don't know what channel they're on this week. And
and Bob's nighttime views all week long.
Yeah, whenever it might be a good night to go out because this 47 might be a good night to hit my hives with the thermal, right? See what
Just go out there with your mouth open since you already sprayed the swarm lure.
I don't rinse that out with Monster.
We need video of it too now.
Oh man, Charlie, I think you and I are the only sober ones here tonight.
Hey, I'm high on swarm lure.
All right,
Gotta get me some.
I'm leaving, guys. I'll catch you later.
Have a
All right,
good
guys.
Good night, Charlie.
Yeah.
Grayson wants me to do a thermal, so I'll probably walk outside and freeze my bum off for a minute.
Thank everybody for joining tonight. And y'all come back and see us next week. We'll be on my channel, Kodiak Farm Bees.
Take care.
Good night.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks.
Night, Mike.